right, so we've got a beautiful day today. This is honestly the perfect weather for building the wall. Got a little bit of wind, but nothing too bad. Alright, so we've got the whole wall laid out. Alright, so what we did was we had to make an extra thick header right here. So we had a choice. We could double it up with extra 2x6s, or we could lighten the load and insulate it and add 2 inches of foam in there. So that's what we opted to do.
It is doubled up.
Oh, it is doubled up?
Yeah.
Well, because there's a header on one side and then the foam and then the header on this side. All right, so this is gonna be for the French door. So just to be clear, we're standing this up in sections. We're not doing this whole big thing. So there's 3 sections. All right, so that's good. So now we have to tack it all together. So we got the header in there, we have it all attached. That sucker is gonna be solid. So we've got the foam sandwiched in there between the 2 LVL boards. And this has all been measured and it should be good for our French doors. Now we're gonna try something new. We are gonna multi-purpose our hay equipment to lift this whole wall up. The idea is that with our hay grapple, it's extra wide so we can get extra wide attachment points. The first one, of course, being right here because this is a lot heavier, and then the second one being just a little ways out. So we get probably an extra 3 feet on this versus, like the forks of a tractor. So the end of the wall is right here. So the idea is, I think we're going to have that assist in lifting the wall up. Combo of people plus tractor. And then we went through and we got the sill seal put on the bottom of this. So this pink stuff right here, that's just a real thin gauge foam plastic material that acts as a rain barrier / bug barrier / everything barrier. So anything that's touching the cement has to have that on there. So we've got that. Everything's marked 16 inches on center. So now it's your last chance. Put your comments down below on how you think this is gonna go, standing this wall up. And again, this is only 1/3 of the wall. All right. Erik's trying to figure out why it's a 1/4 of an inch taller on the one end. It's tough to say. I mean, it could be the cement, a little bit difference in height variation. Could be just putting the boards together, might have increased it a little bit. But here's our first wall. So one of the things Erik's trying to do is pull up and push down some of these boards so that they're all level. So if we've got a wall right here, you don't have a ripple effect with the 2x4s or 2x6s. So he uses the hammer right here to kind of pry up one part of the board, and his leg, his foot, or me to position it the other way. So especially if you have a board that's kind of rippled on its own, it allows you to go down the line and line up the entire board, at least on this end. The other side, well, that's a mystery. And so for code, he said you have to put 3 nails in.
3 1/4 inch, 131 nails.
So the other thing, the reason this is actually going up a lot faster is because he did spend 4 hours going through and drafting out every single board's location. So he's got his king boards. The kings run top to bottom. and the kings join up next to the jack boards, and the jack boards don't run top to bottom. So we've got jacks right here for like the windows and doors. We'll have jacks. Everything else is just regular studs, stud, stud, stud. And the studs are all X's, as opposed to right here where that's a wall partition. So that's a little bit different. So he marked them on the top board, he marked them on the bottom boards. And then right here we have cripples. So if we look up here, we can see he wrote cripple, cripple, cripple. And the cripples are just short boards that act as spacers between the different partitions. So once you get everything lined up, you can measure it. And then pretty much you can assemble the entire wall on the floor, and it's pretty quick and easy.
Tapcons.
So this is what's going into the cement, into the treated wood, into the cement. In addition,
on top of the straps.
Yeah, in addition to the straps. The straps are in. This is what the cement crew put in. They're not
I'll tell you what, when you hit a rock drilling, holy crap. Woo.
So the cement crew wasn't a fly by the seat of your pants type of cement crew. These guys were.
They've been doing it for like 50 years.
Yeah, these were real good, top-notch guys. So this is what they're putting in. So we're trusting that this is what it needs to be in.
So yeah, if you guys get these dogs, you're gonna get bombarded with love.
Pull forward. I feel like my eyeballs are cooking. It's like being on the beach out here. So we have these open arm brackets that Erik is trained to maneuver the wall into. You can see it's a little crooked at the moment, so he's trying to get it lined up. But he can't pull the wall over the brackets because they'll basically rip all of that sill seal off the bottom. So he's getting them up and over the ends, and then hopefully we'll rotate it up and onto the wall right there. It just pulled right off that corner again. I think you've got that one a little bit too tight on that side. Hey, do you want to lift it up and over those brackets again over there? We can shove it that way just a little bit. It kind of looks like we have the corner over here off just a little bit. The other corner looks good. Ooh, yeah.
It's all strapped.
It's the wind. It's like blowing it. Oh my gosh. And it's not even that windy. Alright, so we have our bracing boards up. That's going to prevent the wall from basically tipping over. We have the anchoring straps in as well. Those can be pulled back out if we need to. We do not have the anchoring screws in just yet because we're going to have our builder take a look at it and make sure everything is good. We are definitely going to be slamming in tons of footage. So, exciting stuff.
Oh, and by doing this, I like to nail the king into the header right here.
So everything's going to be nice, tight, and secure, and you can make sure that your nails go all the way through and all the boards are tightened.
Put in your comments below if you guys do double kings and double jacks. I'm running them on this wall because it's a bearing wall. So yeah, just let me know like what's your thoughts on double jacks and double kings.
And that is how we are building our exterior wall for our basement. definitely a struggle trying to get stuff lined up. Yeah, the top is just a little bit up, and it's hard to say if that's the concrete or measuring or what it is. So hopefully next week when the builder comes out, he'll say it looks good. Otherwise, he's probably gonna have to take it all apart. But yeah, we have more or less a full shell. It's not shelled in all the way, but we have all 4 walls up now. Look at that. So the plan is the rest of this week we are gonna get, there's a wall there, and then there's a wall there. So we're gonna have 1, 2, and then 3, the big long wall right here. That's the plan anyway. So this one right here is a load bearing wall. We actually have the cement underneath marked right there so that we know where, I forget what they're called, the foundation for the foundation. Anyway, so we can line it up both ends. We know where that's supposed to go. And so if we can get all of that done tomorrow, or even tomorrow and into Sunday maybe, then that'll be good. But it's going up a lot faster. You know, really the proof is in the pudding. When we get the floor trusses on, and then the next level, we'll know if this makes it or breaks it. Hopefully it doesn't break it.